Good morning student, this is Lokesh Saraswat. Today I am going to start class 8th, chapter 1st of biology section, crop production and management. In this video I will explain what is crop, its types, agricultural practices and food from animals. So let's get started. Starting with the food. Food is the basic necessity for all the living organisms for their survival. It means if an organism need to be survive and their body can function well like digestion, excretion, transportation, circulation, they need food. Alright. Except green plants, all animals all the living organisms are dependent on others for their food. But green plants prepare their own food with the process of photosynthesis. They are self-producers. Alright. From the ancient time, the human beings were the nomads. It means they were food wanderers. They moved from one place to another in search of food. Mainly they eat the flesh of animals. Soon after, they become food producers. It means they started food production. So they started crop production. Alright. Next one is agriculture. What's the meaning of agriculture? Agriculture is the branch of science that deals with the crop production and also the rearing of animals which are helpful for human beings in several ways. Because human being or other animals not only dependent on plants but also for other animals. If we are taking an example of human being who depends on plants and also on animals, all the vegetables, grains, fruits, fibers, they are obtained from plants. And human beings also get eggs, honey, fibers like silk and flesh from animals. So both of them are important, and the branch of science which deals both the plants and animals management, it is called agriculture. So first we will understand about crops because human being mainly depends on plants. Okay. What is a crop? Plants of the same kind grown on a field on a large scale is called a crop. For example, if you are planting only red roses in your garden, so it will be considered as rose crop. And if you are planting only wheat plants in your field, it will be considered as wheat crop, like rice crop, like maize crop, etc. We mainly get cereals, grains, vegetables, fruits, fibers, etc. from plants. Alright. Horticulture is the branch of agriculture in which vegetables, fruits and ornament crops are grown. There is a large variety of crops are produced in India depending upon the climatic conditions like moisture and temperature and rainfall. The crops are divided into three categories. Number first is Kharif crop, second is Rabi crop, and the third one is Zaid crops. Let's discuss about these three crops one by one. So these are the three types of crops. Number first is Kharif crop, which is also called rainy season crop, because this crop is grown in the month of June or July, which is a monsoon season starting, and it is harvested in the month of September or October, because these crops need much water. That's why they are called rainy season crops. Okay, the examples are cotton, groundnut, soya bean, rice. Rice is also called paddy somewhere, maize, etc. Okay. Number second is Rabi crops, which are grown in the winter season. Okay, they need less water than Kharif crops. Alright, they are sown in the month of October or November and are harvested in the month of March or April. Okay, a common example is wheat, pea, gram, mustard, etc. Alright, Number third is Zaid crops. These are very short duration crops which are grown during March to May. It means the present time is the Zaid crops time. Alright, the examples of Zaid crops are watermelon, muskmelon and cucumber. For the crop production, we need to follow the agricultural practices in the sequential order. These are the 7 sequential order which are followed during agricultural practices. Number first is preparation of soil, in which soil is plowed by the help of tractors and hoe or cultivator. Number second is selection and growing of seeds. Seeds are grown in the soil. The second procedure. Third step is the adding manures and fertilizers. It means for increasing the soil fertility, we need to add some manure or fertilizers so that more crop production can be done. Number fourth is irrigation. It means watering the plants. They need much water. Number fifth is crop protection. The crop which is being grown on the fields, it must be protected by the pest or some insects or the birds which can eat their grains. Number sixth is harvesting. It means the crop is being cut from the plants and the useful thing is separated. Alright. Number 7 and the last is storage. The crop which is produced must be protected in an area where it can be used throughout the year. Alright. So now I am explaining all the things one by one in detail. Number first agricultural practice is the preparation of soil. Soil is prepared by the 2 steps, plowing and leveling. Soil becomes tight when it is kept unused. So first step is the plowing, in which the soil is loosened and turned up. Alright, and it is done by the help of plow, hoe and cultivator. These are the agricultural tools. Number second procedure is the leveling. When the soil is loosened or turned up, it must be leveled and pressed slightly. This practice prevents the soil erosion by water or wind. What's the need of plowing? Plowing increases the space between soil particles so that roots can breathe easily. The roots can penetrate easily in the soil when it is loose. Okay. Have you heard about earthworm, which is also called the farmer's friend, because it makes its burrow inside the soil so that the soil become loosened and turned up. It means it is very beneficial for the plants to penetrate their roots inside the soil. The second step of the agricultural practices is the selection and sowing of seeds. We should select healthy, clean and disease-free seeds so that we can get high yield of crop produced. Okay, if the seeds are already diseased, they will decrease the crop production. Alright, so for the selection of seed, what we can do, we have to take the water in a big container and pour all the seeds in it. The unhealthy or diseased seeds will be float on the surface of the water and the healthy seeds will be settled at the bottom of the water. So just separate them and use the healthy seeds. Alright, and the second step of the same stage is the sowing of seeds. Seeds must be placed at right depth and right interval so that there will be no overcrowding and no competition for water and minerals from the soil. So what we can use for sowing of seeds? First is manual method. It is also called the broadcasting, in which farmers scatter the seeds by their hands. Or in the modern method, we can use the seed drill, which is a device that is attached with the tractor and it places at a time one seed at a right depth and right interval. Okay. The third step is the replenishment of nutrients in the soil, or we can also say that adding manure and fertilizer. It must be needed that the soil should be fertile. We can get a high yield of crop produced when the soil is fertile. If we kept the soil unused for a long time, the replenishment of the nutrient will be done automatically. And we can also use the manures and fertilizers. Manures are made with the organic substances like animal excreta, cow dung cake, their urine, and the crop remainings which are left after harvesting. They can be used as green manure. So they are placed in the pit of soil. We just dig the pit and we have to put these crop remains in it. After 7 or 8 days, it will be converted into manure that can be used to increase the fertility of the soil. On the other hand, fertilizers are also present in the market that can be used in place of manure. They are made in the laboratories with the use of chemicals, and they have a particular nutrients in it like NPK. NPK is a fertilizer which have 3 nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in it. Okay. Other fertilizers like urea, superphosphate, potash, etc. can also be used. But manure are very useful for the crops, and fertilizers are harmful for the crops because they are made with the help of chemicals. Alright. Next method for replenishment of nutrients in the soil is the crop rotation. It means growing different crops in a particular field alternatively is called crop rotation. It means farmers sometimes grow wheat and then barley. So this is the crop rotation. So it increases the nutrients in the soil. Let's consider an example of leguminous plants. Mainly the plants need the nutrients nitrogen from the soil. Leguminous plants such as peas or beans are found in that region where soil does not contain nitrogen. In this case, in their root nodules, a bacteria which name is rhizobium is found in it, and it fixes nitrogen for it. What does it do? It converts the nitrogen into nitrates. It means in the soluble state so that plant's root can absorb it. So it fixes the nitrogen for leguminous plants. The next step of agricultural practices is the irrigation. It means supply of water. Water is very important for the growth of plants. It is very useful for germination of seeds. Plants do photosynthesis with the help of water, and the water which dissolves in the soil, it takes up the minerals which are absorbed by the roots. Plants only use 5% of the absorbed water. 95% water is transpired, which comes in the form of rain. This is why it is said that plants are useful in raining. So what will be the definition of irrigation? Irrigation means supply of water to the crop plants from the source other than rain. This is called irrigation. And what are the methods for irrigations? The traditional methods are wells, lakes, rivers which were used, but nowadays the groundwater level is decreasing. So tube well is used for uptaking the groundwater for irrigation. And nowadays 2 modern methods are also used which are very useful for conserving water. What are these 2 methods? I am writing here. These are the 2 modern methods of irrigation. Number first is drip system, in which small holes are made in the pipes that releases water drop by drop near the roots. So there is no wastage of water and we can conserve our groundwater. Right. Number second is sprinkler system, in which water is spread in all the directions. The perpendicular pipe has rotating nozzles on the top which are called sprinklers. They rotate when water moves in the pipe and water is sprinkled in all the directions. So these two methods are proved as boon in the water scarce area. It means the area where water is available in very less quantity. Okay. Number fifth point is the crop protection. It is very important because we have to conserve it and protect it from the weeds and pests. What are weeds? Weeds are the unnecessary plants which are grown by their own, like prickly pear, cactus. It is also called opuntia. So the removal of weeds is called weeding. It is done by two methods, by manually and by weedicides. Manually we use the tools like harrow and trowel, which are used to cut these plants and are thrown away. Second one is by weedicides. These are the chemical which are sprayed on that weeds and they will be destroyed soon. The common example of weedicide is 2,4-D. Its full form is 2,4-dichlorophenolic acetic acid. Okay. Number second is protection from pests. Pests like rodents and insects. The example of rodents like mice, rabbits, insects like locusts and termites. They destroy the crop. So by using rodenticides and insecticides, these are also the chemicals which are used to repel them and protect the crop. The next step is the harvesting. It takes about 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. The process of cutting and gathering the crop after maturation is called harvesting. This process is done with the help of sickle. It means manually it is done by sickle with the use of this tool. This tool is called sickle. Okay. And if someone wants to use a machine, this machine is called harvester, which is attached with a tractor that cut the crop plants. After harvesting, threshing is done. In the process of threshing, the grains are separated from the crop or chaff with the help of thresher. Thresher is a machine. This process can be done manually. The bunch of crops which are harvested are strike on a hard surface so that the grains will be removed from it. This process is called threshing. Okay, and we can also use the machine thresher. A combined machine, harvester and thresher, is used which cut the plants or crops from the field, and after harvesting, threshing is done with the same machine. Okay. Winnowing is the next step because we have separated grains from the chaff, but husk is mixed up in it. Okay, so the husk should be separated from it. Winnowing is the process in which the grains are separated from the husk. How can it be done? This process can be done manually. The grains which have been removed by the above method need to be winnowed. During winnowing, the grains being heavier will fall straight to the ground, and the husk being lighter in weight will be blown away with the help of natural breeze or the wind which is generated by the fan. So grains will be separated from the husk. Okay, this process is called winnowing. This is the last step which is very important. The grains should be protected in that area where they are protected and can be used throughout the year. Okay, on a small scale, the farmers packed these grains in gunny bags, and on a large scale, they are protected in a big container called granaries or silos. After harvesting, the grains must be dried so that their moisture can be removed, because in the moisture many pests, insects and bacteria germinate there and they spoil all the grains. So first of all, they should be dried, and the container in which they are preserved, they should be dried. Okay, dried neem leaves can be put with the grains. They will repel the pests It means they will not allow any bacteria or any other insect to harm the crop. Okay. Besides plant, human being is also dependent on animals for food. These animals need food, shelter and care for proper growth. The branch of science which deals with breeding, feeding and caring of domestic animal is called animal husbandry. These are the example of animal husbandry. Apiculture is the area where honeybees are protected. Their honey is separated and it is used in the medicine. Poultry farming, in which hens and cocks are preserved, eggs and flesh is transported. Dairy farming, in which milch animals are protected like buffalo, cow, and their milk is separated. The milk products are also produced by their milk. The last one is pisciculture, in which fishes are farmed on a large scale and they are exported to the other areas. So this chapter is completed now.